What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Monday, September 13th, 2021. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I did weekly sun and rising signs. It's been a while since I've done those. I took a little break, but I put them in the weekly forecast. So if you want to check that out, I did timestamp it so you can check your sign there nice and easily. So I hope you enjoyed. If you like it, please hit the video with a like, and in the comments, let me know if you like those, because they're not my favorite thing and they take a lot of time. But if you guys enjoy them and you want me to keep doing that, I'll continue to do it. It might end up being a bi-monthly thing. Maybe I'll just do new moons and full moons. Maybe not every week I'll hit those. So we'll see. Leave me a comment. Let me know in that video what you think, or even in this one. Because if you don't get value from it, I don't really want to do it. But if you get value from it, then I'm here for you and I want to do it. All right, that PSA is out of the way. Let's take a look at the chart today. Big day. So we are going to see that sun come to 21 degrees, and today we're in that exact opposition with Neptune. And Mars is at its final full day in Virgo as well. So, I mean, it's a very intense kind of energy today, but it's expansive too at 21 degrees, and it's this opposition to Neptune. I think it's even more fascinating that we have the moon that's going to make the exact T-square. So wow, like this is a big mutable T-square to our moon in Sagittarius. I think it's very intoxicating in life when we get a lot of these Neptune aspects that we've been dealing with over this year have been extremely intoxicating, and they've made us feel like everything's just good and very rose-colored glasses. And I think we're seeing that now because there's so much that I've already talked about that I think is coming. But I think now that we're done with these big aspects to Neptune for a while, we're going to start to, it's about to, there's no more numbing, if you will. So today's kind of like the last, probably pretty dreamy day. However, I think with the T-square to the moon, there's a lot of pressure on our personal lives with the moon and how we emotionally expand on these visions. I think that there are visions coming through. I think that when you get the sun in opposition to Neptune, when it's in retrograde, that is the sun, or that's the earth as close to Neptune as it gets. So I think we're getting a spiritual cleanse in our physical reality and through our soul and through our heart here, and it's coming through, and now it's time to expand upon that vision in our personal life. And what can we see? What are we seeing out there in just maybe our own environment with the North Node here in Gemini, or in our own home even with the moon. So we might be feeling this intense pressure of like what is coming, and it's about how we do those things and make changes. This is a mutable T-square, so there's a force in our personal life to keep expanding, to keep growing with sort of a spiritual intent and a spiritual vision and what's really coming through. And I think that that's part of the expansion of today and the spiritual, essence that's coming through for so many of us in this time right now. So I do think that it's a powerful T-square. It's intense, but I don't think it's that intense because Neptune has been it really has been such everything just doesn't feel, it's been numbing. It's been like Novocaine. So today could feel like extreme Novocaine in some sense, but at the same time, you're getting that intuitive download from the universe of this knowing, of this vision of where to expand and how to do it. And I think, if you can do it today and put little things in motion, you're doing yourself a big favor, because Mars does come into Libra tomorrow. And that's going to be interesting for our identification in our ego about other people. So I think this is this last moment of like really getting down to the particular parts of your reality that are trying to expand and purify, and what that harvest will look like for you, before we have to really deal with a lot of other people's stuff in our lives. It's going to be that way, especially with Mercury here in shadow, not really aspecting anything, except it is going to make a sextile with the moon during all this too. So that's, pretty nice too, about the communication and the understanding of other people, and that everybody's kind of going through a transformation. Everybody's kind of going through some cleanse in some way, shape, or form in their life. And how can we bring balance to that and understanding to that and still have that like nurturing that, we can expand together, but we also have to expand upon our own visions and be hypercritical of what it is in this world that we're stepping into on a personal note. And Venus at 3 degrees is getting ready for the quincunx to the North Node, but it's also building up this week for the square to Saturn. So we might be starting to see like, huh, what parts of society and like government control are trying to take our values away. And Scorpio is endings and beginnings. So I feel like we are in this place of seeing endings and beginnings within what what money comes through governments, or how things are really feeling, but also how it's forcing us to make big decisions, I think, on like what is in our deep bag of tricks to how we can create and how we can bring things in, but we have to ramp up the intensity and start to make big decisions for our environment and what's going to bring that beauty in. So we're going to see the moon also make a sextile over to Jupiter in the evening too, which is more of the vision, really. Like, you know, with Neptune and Jupiter, there's something big that's expanding, and of course, the moon is in Jupiter's sign. This is about the vision of the future and how you're understanding that expanse and how you're, looking ahead and what you're going to do about that. So I feel like there's a necessary planning of looking into the future and getting things done, but it can feel like, I'll just put it off today. It's got that feeling of like, that's not important. And then all of a sudden tomorrow rolls around and it's just a completely different vibe. So I've been saying it for a while. I feel like we're in this time of like the little things, get them done. Today would be, if you can see the vision and see what can shift and change, and what you can really start expanding upon, and taking in all that you've had to, even with Venus here in Scorpio now, like there's a big osmosis taking place. So what have you taken in and what makes the most sense? Even if it doesn't make actual factual sense just yet, that will make sense soon enough. But right now it's almost like, you just know, and you have to expand and grow on that today. Or you might just feel lost in some weird dream. Definitely could be a very interesting day. I mean, with the media having Neptune making these aspects, you never know. If something crazy comes out, if something in the news comes out that's big today, it is 100% not real. It's all part of this. It's all staged, which is pretty often these days. But with these aspects and a T-square to the moon and Neptune in opposition to the sun, it's testing your own spiritual growth and your own spiritual purification of how to move into the purest harvest of your reality, and how to understand and find that balance, because Mercury's in shadow, and we're going to come back to this stuff later. So don't forget that if something does come out. We're in interesting times. I've been saying something crazy could come out. September, October, like, we're on the precipice of something big. We'll see what it is. I don't think we see it today. And if we do, it's way behind the scenes and it's hidden. And if we do, it's not worth too much of your belief, if you will. And it might we have our belief tested upon whatever comes out that is trying to numb us from actual truth. Worth considering. Let's see what the card is for this Monday. I hope you all have a great day. It is the moon's day. It's pretty heavy with the last day of Mars in Virgo. We can be extremely critical, even though there is a numbing. There can just be changes we know need to be made, and that's going to tidy things up. We don't want to lose sight of that. I think our sight and our vision is very important right now. What do we got? The Ten of Wands. I guess we're dropping some old weight off. Maybe we're tired. Mars at the end of Virgo is tired. So we can be a little tired, maybe a little overworked. I think we want to really tune in spiritually today. We really want to tune in to what the universe is calling for, because that's going to be the ultimate truth. Anything else that comes through a black screen is definitely a spell. It's not of the truth. And maybe it's really discerning that and dropping the weight of believing what we hear from other people, but really knowing our own vision and our own belief, and taking that just dropping that weight off at the door so we can walk into our purity fresh and clean and into that transformative space today. Love you all very much. Sending you all my best, and I will see you for Tuesday's horoscope mañana. Peace. Check out your sun rising horoscope and let me know what you think.